Okay, so we are going to look at CHAN and AFCON in East Africa. Tanzania steps into the spotlight as CHAN and AFCON, get an inch closer. So, Mark, tell us more about this, and I don't know if they have actually, stepped up to the game yet.
Tanzania are doing a very fine job. Their government, which is led by President Samia Suluhu Hassan, is keen on this tournament, and the success of PAMOJA and CHAN has been the buy-in by all the three presidents, President Museveni, President William Samoei Ruto, and President Suluhu Hassan of Tanzania, because, like I said earlier, the success of CHAN and PAMOJA will be when all three countries are at par, all the three countries, and the government is heavily keen on this. They are working together tirelessly around the clock. The sports minister, Kasali Majaliwa, has insisted that they are ahead of schedule on all the infrastructure changes. Work is complete at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium. The other stadium which is being worked on, a brand new stadium in Zanzibar, is the new Aman Stadium, which is also on course to be in time for CHAN, and all the various other aspects.
The training grounds,
the training grounds as well. There's one which is called Law School, another one at Gymkhana, and then another called Major General Isumahayo, which are all 90% done. And,
so those are attached to the Benjamin Mkapa. I've been to Gymkhana.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Benjamin Mkapa then will have its own training pitch.
Oh yes.
The way Nambole does.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. So, I mean, it's pretty good news. I mean, it would have been a big challenge for CHAN and PAMOJA if Uganda was here and Kenya is here, or Uganda is here and Tanzania is here, because you all need to be at par as per the bidding documents and as per the requirements by CAF. So the enthusiasm that Tanzania have shown in terms of being ahead of schedule for CHAN is very, very good news for both Uganda and for both Kenya and for East Africa at large. Because while we are in Uganda here, obviously, for most Ugandans, we're focusing on the work which is happening around our country. But remember, there will be countries which will be in Tanzania, in Kenya, and there will be flights of fans and teams crisscrossing, especially after the group stages. So it is very, very important for us as Ugandans to know what's happening in Tanzania, and for Tanzanians as well to know what's happening in Uganda. Yeah. and Kenya and vice versa. So I think that bodes well for our fortunes ahead of August, and we can't wait, because even the government knows that there's going to be an economic reward for Tanzania in terms of tourism. Tanzania is big on tourism.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, I think they have the forex which Tanzania gets from tourism is highest in the East African region. And they know that they've got to do a very, very good tournament in CHAN for them to earn as much as they can from the tourism sector.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because of the Serengeti and the national park, the Serengeti, and all the scenery they have to offer in those areas, in Moshi and Arusha and everywhere. So they're huge on tourism. They're the biggest East African country by a country mile. I think Kenya and Uganda would fit in there and they would still have space. So they're huge. I think it's Ludiga Tenga, actually, who's the head of the lock there.
Yes, the head of the lock there, yes.
That's a very experienced man who knows exactly
what
he's doing. So it augurs well. There's a time when they were actually, I think, when we first won the bid as East Africa, the Tanzanians looked to be more set than all of us. Yeah,
because I remember President Suluhu commissioned 2 stadiums right immediately after I won the bid, and she's been at the heart of this CHAN tournament. I mean, just like President Museveni in Uganda here and Ruto in Kenya, which, like I said, it augurs well for the competition.
It does,
because if you had a half-hearted government which was working with a laissez-faire attitude, then that was going to be a very dangerous signal for the preparations of the competition, both CHAN and PAMOJA.
Yeah. So I think Benjamin Mkapa is actually a 60,000 seater. So
yes, it is.
Yeah,
60,000
to be one
seater.
of the bigger of our.
As of now,
AFCON.
it's the biggest stadium in East Africa. Although Kenya's New Talanta Stadium is also going to be a 60,000 seater. although they're building the Talanta Stadium for 2027 for PAMOJA.
For PAMOJA.
Yeah, Benjamin Mkapa is ready for CHAN.
For CHAN, yeah.
But the Talanta Stadium is being built in Nairobi for PAMOJA, just like the Hoima Stadium and the John Akibo Stadium in Lira.
Yeah, and then of course we will, I think, soon know which teams are going to be hosted in which of these stadiums.
Oh, yes.
I think the CHAN draws are actually tonight. We've come on the set a bit earlier than them, so we don't know what's going to come out of those. But the CHAN draws are actually on tonight, so we'll know which countries Uganda is going to host along with Uganda in Nambole, and then which ones will go to Benjamin Mkapa, which ones will go to the new Aman Stadium in Zanzibar, and then Nairobi. Yeah. So you can see Tanzania has 2.
Yeah.
And then it's Uganda and Kenya. It's just Nairobi and Kampala for us.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. For CHAN at least. Yeah. AFCON will be a different story, of course, in 2027. Yeah. But it sounds good because like every time we go away from here, we come back a week later and time has ticked. The time is ticking. It would be a bit of a worry.
And again, which is something which is very important to note, is that the Tanzanians are working together. The government has made it clear that this is a national cause, and they're prioritizing this tournament over everything else because they have to get it right, and they know what it means for the country's legacy, and there's no room for failure. No room for failure, and I think those are lessons that can be embraced and picked by Kenya, by Uganda.
And us as Uganda as well. Absolutely, I agree. Because there's nothing short of collective teamwork, people being on the same page, can give you the success that you want.
Absolutely.
And we are on trial. The region is on trial.
Yes.
Where CHAN is concerned, everybody is looking to see if we can actually host AFCON, because AFCON has been a North African and East African and West African affair.
And listen,
and South Africa. So there's quite a bit of focus on that.
It's going to be by some distance the biggest sporting event that has ever been hosted by East Africa. The biggest sporting event, at least as far as Africa is concerned.
Yeah.
Because we've never had anything like that. I mean, how many countries? 24 African countries in the 3 countries, together with visitors from all over the world. Because people are flying from Asia, you have scouts from Europe, you have football fans who are coming to tour East Africa and to enjoy the football from all over the world. So it will be a holiday season for most of them, and it will be a bonanza of sorts. A merry-making month.
Yeah, absolutely.
When PAMOJA falls in.
Because that draw, I think there's 18 teams that are going into it, and then plus, of course, us and all. And by the way, I think Uganda, we've played at CHAN, but Kenya have not played at CHAN before.
Yeah.
As for example, so there's that draw tonight will be interesting. When we come back next week, we'll be talking about that. And I think sometimes the appreciation from the many stakeholders and the entire populace of what's going into the preparations does not really come to the fore until you're talking the football itself. Because some people, that's the language they speak.
That's the language they understand.
Yeah, so when we say now Uganda is pulled with who and who and who, so they realize, oh, so the tournament is here. Much more than when you say we are fixing Nambole and the pitch and the training ground and Makerere and Chambogo and all.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so it's very, very important when we get into that part of
there is a lot of work to be done
on infrastructure alone.
Yeah. You know, on the communications, on the marketing front.
Yes, absolutely.
On the security front, accommodation, and so many other things.
Receiving of and taking care of visitors.
Oh, yes.
That is a full-time job.
Oh, yes. Because I noticed this, Mark, in 2017, when Uganda hosted the IF World Cross Country Championships at Kololo.
Yeah.
Because I'd been traveling for all these global events. So you go to Japan, Osaka, you go to Brisbane, and then you see things are moving smoothly. Now you're a visitor, because I'd come as an accredited journalist, and I'm going to cover, Moses Kipsiro, I'm going to cover all these guys, Boniface Kiprop, and Dokas Izikuru, and things are moving seamlessly. Now it was not until when Uganda was hosting an event of that magnitude, and I was one of the people who was experienced, and then I was subjected to do some of the work by IAF. That's when it dawned on me that a lot of work is done for me to have an easy ride
Yes,
in
yeah.
Tokyo, in London.
For you to find your
in
accreditation
whatever,
card here,
accreditation
for
card
you
here.
to be told that
Exactly.
the press
Media center is
the
here,
media center is here.
you know, and everything. Now here, I mean, there was a bit of a mess, you know, and it was such a learning process. I mean, Anna Lenyani, the IF media officer, said that, Mark, I mean, this is what we usually do when you guys are traveling over. So you should be doing this for us as visitors. And so,
Yeah.
again, I think for us, we're hosting Chan, and Chan is a dry run for PAMOJA.
Yeah.
So hopefully we can do it very, very well. And when I say we can, I'm talking about Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. And in the unlikely event that there are few areas where we fall short, then we can address them in PAMOJA. Because PAMOJA, there'll be no room for error.
Yeah.
Yeah.